welcome back to my hobby workshop. Today I'll be doing the MPC's Rat Trap Vega Modified. This is actually a kit from Round 2 Models, and on the box it shows it's a 1/25th scale kit with a skill level of 2. So seems fairly simple, not a lot of parts, so let's get this thing open and check out what's inside. So at first glance, the body looks really nice. Very minimal mold lines, only on the trunk deck that I can see, and no flash at all, so not going to be a hard time to get rid of those and make this look really sharp. Nothing too crazy about the frame and the rear firewall, except the fact that, like I said, very little flash, if any at all, and very nice detail. One nice detail I noticed about the roll cage, it looks like it has foam pad molded around it, so that'll be nice to paint up in detail. Nothing too special about the rear end and suspension, and the seat and the motor look like they have a lot of good detail too, so it'll be nice to paint up. What's left is the firewall, some other motor parts, and then your little hood and your racing wheels. I really do like the wheels that come with this kit. They already have the Goodyears painted, so that's awesome. If you don't like the way that is though, you can flip them over and paint them on yourself. Last but not least are the decal sheets that come with it, so those look pretty good. Next up is pre-paint assembly, so I'm going to start working on that. I'll be right back. First up is pre-assembling the engine as much as possible. This will be painted a primer black to give it those shadows, and then I'll give it the actual paint color after the fact. For the chassis, I attached the front suspension parts, that way nice and easy painting like always, and the rear suspension as well, transmission and leaf springs. Each header comes in 2 individual pieces, so I did glue those together, that way they can get a nice base coat. They're already attached, no problems there, and that way I can get everything taken care of in one shot. And the last thing I was able to attach is the roll cage. So that's it for pre-assembly. Let's jump into the booth. Once the engine was dried from the booth, I attached whatever pieces needed to be attached, hand painted the transmission, and got everything looking pretty good. The Chevy orange isn't exact, but it's pretty close. Next, I attached the drive shaft and the engine to the chassis, and now it's time to do some detailing. For the springs, I just decided to use a regular old red Sharpie marker, and that'll do the trick. As you can see, came out decent. After the front springs were done, I did the same thing for the rear springs. I attached them, put some panel line wash on them to give out some detail, and then I also attached the fuel cell underneath the chassis. After that was done, I started to attach the front support frames, work on the front firewall, detailing it and connecting it. Since I plan on making this kit a right-off-the-track dirty look, I decided to use some black panel wash and brown panel wash on the firewall and other parts of the motored area to make it look like it's been used and raced. Using some Sharpies and some basic acrylic markers, I was able to put a lot of detail on the battery and seat and make it look really, really good. Like I mentioned earlier, the roll cage has what looks like padding around it, so I used just some basic black acrylic paint to paint that on there and give it that effect. Once the roll cage was mounted, I decided to mount the headers and make sure that they fit well and wasn't touching anything. So I originally painted these wheels orange, kind of wanted that orange on top of orange look, and after I did that, I really didn't like the look. So I stripped all the orange paint off and kind of started over, and I went with white, and I think the white looks way better. It really gives it that 70s look that I was, or 70s/80s look that I was going for, and they look really, really sharp. So the next thing was to make them look a little dirty and used up. Like I said, this is going to be a used race car, right off the track, not clean, not pristine. So I decided to use some panel wash and then some pigments to kind of get in there. Look like there's some brake dust and just normal racing dirt that you would see on the track. The next thing I did was a little bit of dry brushing technique underneath the actual vehicle, underneath the chassis, kind of show it where it's, you know, bottomed out or hit some race debris or just wear and tear from racing on a Saturday night. last thing to do underneath was just to add a little bit more grime, a little bit more oil stains, and just some dirtiness of race wear. Hey guys, I always want to provide a little quick update before I do my final reveal, so we're almost at that point. The chassis and everything, the frame, everything's done, completed, everything's been put together. All I have left is to mount the body and get the decals put on the body. So far, like I said, this kit has gone together fantastic. I've done all the weathering that I needed to do. I wanted to make it look like it's right off the racetrack, been used up, dirty, oil and whatnot, kind of just normal race dirt and whatnot from coming off the track. So like I said, I got to get the body mounted onto the actual chassis itself, which is fairly easy. I've already done a test fit, so everything fits really, really well. And then I got to get the decals mounted on. So I plan on using the original decals that come with the kit and some of my other decals that I have. They're just kind of contingency decals I had from other kits that I've used. But I am doing a Richie Evans inspired look. If you don't know who Richie Evans is, in the 70s to 80s, he's a modified legend. He's won I think 8 or 9 championships. I think 8 of them were consecutive. I may be wrong on the numbers there, but I know he's won a lot. He's a legend in the modified racing community. So I figure this is a short track racer at his local track. And that's who he looks up to. That was his guy, and he just wants to, kind of look like him, but still run his own thing. So, this kit's been great. It's taken me a little bit longer than normal, only because I just had a lot of things going on in, life. But this is a fantastic build if you just want to get something done on the weekend. I mean, this is quick, easy. The only issue that I've had so far is, and it's minor, with the instructions. If you're newer to building race cars or anything like that, they don't give you a description of what the pieces are when you're putting them together, and they don't give you a color option on the instructions. Very minor thing to, I wouldn't say complain about, but to mention. But if you're newer and you don't know much about, race cars or anything like that, you may get confused on what a part is and what it should be, what color you should paint it. So for the most part, you could figure it out, but I always like to just kind of give a heads up. So I'm going to get this thing, the body mounted, the decals put on, and I'll be back with that final. Hey everyone, so that's going to do it for this build. I had an absolute blast doing this thing. This was really quick, easy to do, fun to do, and I'm a fan of race cars, so this was fantastic. One update I will give you, I had a really hard time with the decals. I was going to use the stripe down the side, and they absolutely disintegrated on me. There was no saving them, so I'm lucky I was able to get the 11 and Pat's Auto on there, but the other ones were just horrible. So if you do decide to do this, be warned, the decals might be a little delicate. So, but other than that, this is a great build. Definitely something fun to do on the weekends. Like I said, super quick and easy to do. I'm definitely probably going to get the Ford Pinto. I think that'd be cool looking to kind of sit with this in that same era piece. But yeah, I had a blast. So if you like the video, go ahead, please hit like and subscribe to the channel if you want to stay up to date with my other videos. And I got more coming out soon. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.